Social media is ripping apart our society. This is something we've all known for a very long time. But now, our suspicions about social media giants such as Facebook and Google are being confirmed. Social media is ripping apart the fabric of society. The networks are not only a platform for misinformation, but a platform that is based on exploiting addiction. Discourse, communication, and disagreements are fundamental parts of any cooperative society. But with the rise of social media, such debate and healthy disputes have disappeared. Social media has built a cult-like mindset in the average person, who simply cannot get enough of the feedback loop dopamine hit that is exploited by corporations such as Facebook and Google. According to former Facebook Vice President for User Growth, the short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops we've created, including the hearts, likes, and thumbs up of various social media channels, are destroying how society works. He added, "There's no civil discourse, no cooperation, only misinformation, mistruth." And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem. Regarding an incident in which 7 innocent men in India were lynched after a hoax about kidnappings spread through WhatsApp. That's what we're dealing with. And imagine taking that to the extreme, where bad actors can now manipulate large swaths of people to do anything you want. It's just a really, really bad state of affairs. Have a listen.
I think we all knew in the back of our minds, even though we feigned this whole line of like, there probably aren't any really bad unintended consequences. I think in the back, deep, deep recesses of our minds, we kind of knew something bad could happen. But I think the way we defined it was not like this. It literally is a point now where I think we have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. That is truly where we are. And I would encourage all of you, as the future leaders of the world, to really internalize how important this is. If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you. If you push back on it, we have a chance to control it and rein it in. And it is a point in time where people need to hard break from some of these tools and the things that you rely on. The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation, mistruth. And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem. So we're in a really bad state of affairs right now, in my opinion. It is eroding the core foundations of how people behave by and between each other. And I don't have a good solution. You know, my solution is I just don't use these tools anymore. I haven't for years. It's created huge tension with my friends, huge tensions in my social circles. If you look at, like, you know, my Facebook feed, I've posted maybe 2 times in 7 years. 3 times, 5 times. It's like it's less than 10. And it's weird. I guess I kind of just innately didn't want to get programmed. And so I just tuned it out. But I didn't confront it. And now to see what's happening, it really bums me out. Like, think about, like, there were these examples where there was a hoax in WhatsApp where in some, like, village in India, people were, like, afraid that their kids were going to get kidnapped, etc. And then there were these lynchings that happened as a result, where people were like vigilante running around. They think they found the person, and I mean, seriously? Like, that's what we're dealing with. You know, imagine, like, when you take that to the extreme, where, you know, bad actors can now manipulate large swaths of people to do anything you want. It's a really, really bad state of affairs. And we compound the problem, right? We curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded in these short-term signals, hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth. And instead, what it really is fake, brittle popularity that's short-term and that leaves you even more, and admit it, vacant and empty before you did it. Because then it forces you into this vicious cycle where you're like, what's the next thing I need to do now? Because I need it back. Think about that compounded by 2 billion people. And then think about how people react then to the perceptions of others. It's really bad. It's really, really bad.
It sounds like you're taking deep personal responsibility also in being a part of it.
I kind of, look, I did a great job there, and I think that business overwhelmingly does positive good in the world. Where I have decided to spend my time is to take the capital that they rewarded me with and now focus on the structural changes that I can control.
In addition, a former Facebook founder, Sean Parker, similarly stated that the social media giant Facebook is exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. It literally changes your relationship with society, with each other. He told news site Axios, it probably interferes with productivity in weird ways. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. Social media is destroying our society. Technology will overwhelmingly destroy the human body, or what it means to be a human.
You know, if the thought process that went into building these applications, Facebook being the first of them to really understand it, that thought process was all about how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible. And that means that we need to sort of give you a little dopamine hit every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo or a post or whatever. And that's going to get you to contribute more content, and that's going to get you, you know, more likes and comments. I mean, it's a social validation feedback loop that it's like it's exactly the kind of thing that a hacker like myself would come up with, because you're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. And I think that the inventors, creators, and it's me, it's Mark, it's Kevin Systrom at Instagram, it's all of these people, understood this consciously, and we did it anyway.
First of all, it's not funny. But as some of you might know, Mark Zuckerberg is attempting to run for president. And he openly, willingly, consciously, you name it, exploited human psychology for profit. 2 billion times over in each person that's been affected, or that each person that uses social media. Social media is ripping apart our society. So what are you doing to not take part? We at the Christian Journal are working really hard to reduce our reliance on social media platforms such as Facebook and Google. Not only has Facebook and Google systemically thwarted the rise of independent media by claiming fake news, they have driven several upcoming organizations from their platforms because it challenges their narrative, nothing more. In response to the censorship put on by Facebook and Google, we are working on ways around the constraints of the tech giants. One big solution we are actively working on is an application for mobile devices and tablets that encompasses both our website and this channel. Furthermore, we offer free email notifications of when something is produced, so you don't have to rely on the platforms that drive addiction to see when something is posted. We would, however, ask that you support us in our efforts to be a truly independent news organization based on the fact that Jesus Christ is Lord. Go to christianjournal.net/donate to take part. God bless and carry on.